11 o'clock, Wednesday edition of Three Man Front. We continue monitoring quarterfinal men's hockey action over in Italy. The Canadians have just tied it up 2-2, Pat. 7:15 remaining in the second period. Where's that Vegas live line now?
It has jumped, obviously, in the favor of the Canadians at minus 1.5 goals, minus 170. The Czech Republic, you can get them at plus 1.5, plus 130. So literally 2 minutes ago, you could get the Czechs for the minus 1.5, but it was going to cost you around minus 200. So.
Well, it's lunchtime, and I know what you can get. You can get some wonderful food from right down the street. It's Crafts, their newest location right there on Highway 280. It's the old Wendy's location next to the Hampton Inn in Mountain Brook. When you talk about fried chicken tenders, the homemade sides that they have, the stick-to-your-ribs sides like mac and cheese, rice and gravy. You want to go greens, how about a homemade biscuit? You can do that as well. The chicken bites, all outstanding. A lot of premier chicken sandwiches as well, like the Simple Chick, the Honey Hot Chick, Nashville Hot, Max Stack. You want to go with the Black Angus Smash Burger, you can do that as well. They have wraps, they have salads, they have something for everyone. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner at the Mountain Brook location. They're on 280. Drive-through is available, and don't forget about the frozen cocktails. It's our friends at Crafts. Check out the newest location on Highway 280, or they're on Church Street in Crestline Village, or downtown on 7th Avenue South.
Each and every Wednesday on this program, we get an opportunity to catch up with the voice of the Alabama Crimson Tide, brought to you by Craneworks, Chris Stewart.
Lift it, load it, grade it, grind it, move it, haul it, rig it, dig it, Craneworks, Rentalworks, yeah, the big dog's got it.
Crimson Tide Network's Chris Stewart on Three Man Front is brought to you by Craneworks. Lift it, buy it, rent it. The big dog's got it. And now, Chris Stewart.
And Chris joins us on the Higginbotham Hotline. I hope you're doing well on this Wednesday, Chris.
I am, guys. How are y'all?
We're doing fantastic, just monitoring a lot of things going on over in Italy, but we've got basketball just weeks away from Selection Sunday, our favorite time of the year in regards to college basketball. 4-game winning streak for the Tide as a very good Arkansas team comes in tonight at Coleman Coliseum.
Yeah, they do. And you're right. They are a good team. They're sitting there at 9-3 with Bama a game behind them, or among those a game behind them for second place right now in the league. And obviously Florida's the leader, but Alabama's trying to at least give themselves a fighting chance in this back half of conference play to have a shot at catching them and getting, at least a share of the SEC crown. Won't be easy. They've got this one tonight against a really good Arkansas team, and then you're on the road for LSU before you come home, Mississippi State, and then next weekend you're in Knoxville against Tennessee, Georgia, and Auburn at home before you wrap things up and go into the tournament. So we're getting down the stretch, and where you finish in the league can help you as far as NCAA seeding is concerned. But this one is going to be tough, but really good opportunity to help yourself in terms of your resume and your profile for seeding in the NCAA. And as I said, trying to help your case for or within the SEC standings as well.
Chris, we have listeners who are Alabama basketball fans that have chimed in to us, and we've had a few this week. And just their frustration, they're thankful for the wins, but their frustration with some of the ugly and spotty starts that you get and slow starts out of the gate from this Nate Oates Alabama team. Has Coach Oates been able to identify maybe what's leading to that, or have you been able to pick up on anything that you've noticed in trends in certain games against certain opponents?
No, I know he's frustrated with it. He's talked about it a good bit, and the fact that, that's got to be better and more consistent. And at times it has, certainly in their 4 wins. But look, this is a season that we've talked about where, different guys available, not available, and just trying to find the consistency in your rotation, which obviously can help your starts look better. If you had the same starting lineup game in and game out, I think there's a little better opportunity to be more consistent with what you get out of your starting nods. But it hasn't been that way, and it's not been by design. It's been primarily because of injury. And look, they've got a deep, talented roster. But as you know, and we've talked about it virtually every week, they've had 1 to 4 guys, it seems, out every game. And hopefully this is a time where you'll get Taylor Bowen back. I'm not sure it'll be this one, but I think they're going to have him back um, fairly soon. And that's the only guy that's been missing as of late, and that's important. I mean, good grief, getting how different does this team look with Latrell Wrightsell healthy
Oh
and
yeah.
available, which is what he's been in the last few games. I think he's averaging 20 plus in the last few ball games, and has had a couple of 7 3-pointer games during that stretch. A veteran on top of that, so as they're able to get into, and I don't know if they're going to be able to, but if they can get in a rotational rhythm and availability rhythm, I think you'll see the team play with more consistency and more rhythm as well.
It's not an excuse, Chris, and you just touched on it, but a lot of people don't understand that Alabama's had 12 different starting lineups this season. That is the most that Nate Oates has ever employed in a season at Alabama. And I
Yeah.
think it goes back to the consistency that you were just talking about. Big guys are hurt, and you can't put his regular lineup that he would like to have as he kind of scoped this out prior to the season, that this is kind of the hierarchy and the depth of this basketball team. He's kind of had to pencil some guys in that typically was going to be in a backup role.
Well, absolutely. And sometimes thankfully you've got versatility with the roster that guys can play different spots. But when you talk about consistency and you ask, and I'm not talking about you, but I'm just saying in general, when people ask the question, well, why aren't you playing better? Why aren't you more consistent? It's hard to be when some guys aren't able to practice. They're only, healthy enough to be able to play because you're trying to keep bodies available for the games and ready to go, or somebody's out for a week, 2 weeks, whatever it may be, in all practice and games. It's difficult to get that rhythm, that consistency that we're talking about. So, um, I don't have the answer for it other than they keep working. Look, he knew coming into this year that rebounding was going to be something they would have to really give max effort, which is one of their core fundamentals of the program. But he knew it was going to take kind of a different collective effort on the glass, but especially on defense. He joked about it. I told you this more than once. He told me back during the summer when months before the season started, I said, "How's it going?" Talking about the summer workouts and stuff. He goes, "Maybe the best 3-point shooting team I've ever had," which obviously caught my attention. He goes, "Don't know if we can guard the water fountain, but we can. We're going to be able to shoot it," and that's what they've done. But when they've defended, in addition to shooting it well, they've been exceptional. And if they can do that and be consistent on that end of the floor, then this has got a chance to be an elite team.
Tonight, the opponent in John Calipari in Arkansas, they've won 3 straight. They've been pretty solid all season, as we expected them to be, but it all starts with Darius Acuff. Tonight, along with Acuff, what are some of the challenges that the Hogs present Nate Oates and the Tide?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it does start with him. And, Acuff is um, really talented, just a freshman, 6'3", 190, a guy who's from Detroit, but out of IMG. And, um, yeah, he's averaging uh, team best 21 points a game, but they've got 2 other guys that are in double figures and 2 others that are right there on the cusp of it. So they've got some balance. They got a star in him, but they've got some balance with Malik Thomas and Trevin Brazil behind him. Billy Richmond's really good. Malik Ewan is as well. And even though Knox and Wagner play a good bit and give you a good bit point wise, when a guy like Nick Pringle, who has as much experience and experience winning as he does, even though last year was tough for him, I'm sure, at South Carolina, but Nick was with us and a major part of the Final Four team and the run that was there and the season before it. Um, he's still giving you 5 points and 4.5 boards with 24 starts on the year. So it's a veteran team in some spots, star power at freshman. And, um, what do you know? John Calipari has not forgotten how to coach, and he hasn't forgotten how to win. And he's winning at a level that they're appreciating. And I think not just at a level, but in a way they appreciate. Um, there in Fayetteville. I think he's been a great fit. Um, you know, certainly, I think respected more than kind of the show they had with Ernestine Musselman for a while, and um, you know, it's been
That was good.
successful,
That
and
was
they've
good,
done
Chris.
well.
That was
Not the
good.
first time I've used it, but it is still effective.
I'm impressed that he actually is trying out this radio material somewhere else before he brings it to our show. That says a
Yeah,
lot. He
it
wants to
does.
make sure that
Well,
when he gets on
I've
the
done it
show,
on my own. I've done it during the games, maybe once or twice. He was easy to dislike.
well, speaking of that, it's a great segue to my next question.
Ernestine Musselman. That's
And
good.
it has to be with, listen, John Calipari won a lot of games at Kentucky. And anytime he brought a Kentucky team into Coleman Coliseum, it was worth the price of admission. But I would think that the fans tonight will have a little something for him because he was very quick to give everyone his opinion on Charles Bediako and what should and should not be happening in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. So it'd be nice to get a little Alabama payback on some of his comments.
You know, I everybody's got an opinion on it. Well, here's the thing: they get asked either you've got an opinion, and if you give it, it can get clipped, and some people are derogatory. Others are trying to answer it honestly, and the whole answer probably relates to their team, but when you pull it and place it in certain contexts, it can come across as being a shot at Alabama or Coach Oates or whatever. And I think we all understand that. I mean, look, you and I've talked about this, and I say it respectfully. I do a podcast with AJ and Trent, but I've also done 4 hours of talk radio, and boy, is that a lot of time. Some days it's not enough. Most days that's a lot of stuff, and I'll listen to you guys a great deal and commend you and the whole crew on the work you clearly put in to make it creative and informative and entertaining. But you also sometimes controversy is manna from heaven in your business,
Yes.
and you know that, and that's not a negative. That's just a fact. And that's one of those things where if you pull a clip, it gets you. So my whole point in this long babbling answer is that I don't think coaches get too caught up in that. Nate will come back and say what he thinks. And it's why I've joked with him since he first got to Alabama, or maybe 6 months after he was at Alabama. I said, the difference in you. I said, Nate, you're a Yankee. You're not a damn Yankee. And he said, all right, what's the difference? I said, well, all Yankees tick us off down here, but a damn Yankee does it on purpose. I said, you're not trying to tick people off. You just speak your mind, and it does. He goes, you're right. I'm not trying to make people mad. But he's also, when he feels, when somebody may throw a rock at him, he's not afraid to pick up a brick and hurl it back. And if that's your coach, then you love it. And he's ours, and we do. So uh, that's kind of when somebody says something, and then he gets asked about it. Uh, get your popcorn ready. It's going to be good.
It should be good tonight. Coach
Yeah.
Cal, he's always entertaining. I think Cal, I don't think he has a problem giving his opinion, but I think part of it is he still enjoys and embraces walking into that hostile environment where everybody hates him and his team.
He enjoys being the villain. That means that you're good, for one thing, and his teams almost always are. They're good to great. Okay, they're never bad,
Right.
but they're good to great. So that's easy to play the role of the villain. and he's got a lot of experience
He
with it
plays it well.
because the personality for one thing, but also again, his teams have always been good to great, no matter where he's been. So that's why it's going to fall into that category as well.
Great to great. That's what Craneworks offers, right? It's not just good. It's
Oh man, you
great.
beat me to it.
Yep.
You beat me to it. You can go from good to great. Go from whatever heavy equipment and crane dealer you were with, and go to great, which is Craneworks, the most trusted name in rental equipment in the Southeast for over 30 years. They got a fleet of cranes, 2.5 tons to 500. They've also got trained and certified operators making sure that the job you need done, most importantly, is done right. Locations: Birmingham, Nashville, Mobile, up in Huntsville as well. Frameworks.com is where you can get more info.
Chris, have a great call. We know you will tonight inside of Coleman Coliseum. Tell Coach Cal we said hello.
Will do my best, boys. Appreciate you both.
Thank you, brother. All right. Chris Stewart, voice of the Alabama Crimson Tide, on the call. Alabama, Arkansas tonight in Tuscaloosa. Presented by Craneworks, and all of our guests join us on the Higginbotham Hotline. You deserve solutions that are built for you. Higginbotham's your one-source solution for insurance, financial, and HR services.
Might get a little rain this weekend. It'll be a good opportunity for you to call Golston Tree Service to get them come out and check all the trees on your property. 205-337-4443. Golston's licensed pros that will handle everything from trimming and pruning to full tree removals. Will also grind that stump out, get it out off your property. Fast, safe, affordable. Don't wait until that next storm causes the damage. You need to call Golston Tree Service. Golston offers 24-hour emergency tree service work as well. So put this number in your phone. When that tree falls overnight, they can take care of you immediately. 205-337-4443. That's Golston Tree Service.
A little bit of college football news that we will get to, and we'll do it next on Three Man Front.
It is 11:21 here on Jocks. Appreciate Chris Stewart, voice of the Alabama Crimson Tide, joins us each and every Wednesday on the program. We also talk to Brian Edwards from Vegas Insider. Our resident bracketologist, Rocco Miller, the bracketeer.org is his website. He will be on at 12 noon, and he'll give us the very latest of what's going on in regards to tonight's action. Auburn big road game against Mississippi State. You can hear right here on Jocks starting at 8 o'clock. And then Alabama, they'll get things started at 6 o'clock tonight. You can watch the game on the SEC Network.
A little bit of college football news in case you missed it. We let off the show, let off in the first segment. Northern Illinois' head football coach, Thomas Hammock, has decided that he doesn't want to do the college thing anymore. He doesn't want to play in the Mountain West. And he has moved on to the NFL to coach running backs for the Seattle Seahawks. Seems like a pretty good deal.
Not a bad gig.
$710,000. That was his salary at Northern Illinois. He'll make $400,000 per year coaching running backs and working half as hard.
I'm sure the property value in the Puget Sound area is pretty expensive.
Yeah,
compared to DeKalb, Illinois.
I would think so.
Mm-hmm.
No, there's rural parts, I guess, that you could live in and commute every day,
Mm-hmm.
maybe.
Yep.
Seattle's it's a pretty city. You ever been to Seattle?
I have not.
It's pretty.
I've always wanted to go.
I liked Seattle.
I have a friend who's from Seattle. He said he loves it.
Yeah. So that news going on, and there has been an evidentiary hearing set for former Michigan head coach Sharon Moore in the investigation that led to his charges.
Speaking of the courtroom, we are still waiting on Joey Aguilar, that case up in Knox County. But a little interesting news came out last night that Aguilar is going to go to the NFL Combine. He is going to go for a couple of days because if he only goes a couple of days as opposed to like going all week, that he can, and this is just a crazy rule, he could save an extra year if he is granted eligibility status by the judge, that he will not bypass his eligibility and become an NFL pro, if that makes sense. So if he goes for 2 days, he's okay. So he's going to go, I guess, do some interviews on
Makes a lot of sense.
whatever the case may be. Very odd the way some of these rules are, but
Because, it's a 5-day event.
yeah, but he
But-
can only go for 2.
So as far as the
What?
schedule, though, of the hearing in this case, what does that look like? Or is we just waiting for a ruling?
Yeah, we're just waiting on the judge.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
I thought we were going to get it on Monday. Well, President's Day yesterday, I guess.
yeah, it's interesting that today, this will be the second full day after coming back from the long holiday weekend.
Heupel on the phone with the judge. Buy me more time.
I'll give you a discount on those season tickets.
Levitt says he's not sure.
You want a box? I'll get you a box.
Not to mention the fact that the judge, out of his own mouth on Friday, said, I will have you a decision in short order.
Well, guess different definitions for different people of short order.
So Aguilar will have he got a combine invitation. He will attend only a 48-hour window instead of the 5 days. That will avoid jeopardizing a potential return to college. Even with a favorable ruling by the judge, he plans to remain a limited participant in case of an appeal. So we'll see what happens with Joey Aguilar. You remember us telling you on Monday on President's Day, I know many of you might have been off with the family, not working, maybe out of your normal listening routine, but the President of the United States had a very interesting foursome on his golf outing on Monday. It was very interesting. He had Urban Meyer, Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, and Nick Saban. Well, Urban Meyer was on the podcast that he does with Mark Ingram and Rob Stone. And take a listen to the back and forth between him and Rob Stone about that famous foursome on Monday.
I got invited to play golf with Coach Nick Saban and Governor Ron DeSantis and Donald J. Trump, our president. And what brought this on is just conversation about the positives and negatives of not just college football, college sports. The governor of the state, our governor, I live in the state of Florida, played baseball at Yale. The president of the United States is very interested in sports and just listened. And obviously Coach Saban, arguably the greatest coach of all time. It was an awesome day. Awesome. sense of humor, and also real serious conversation about what, it's interesting to get Coach Saban's take, my take, who've been in it for so long. And
so, Coach, I just want to be clear. This was a work golf outing, right? This was not a Republican convention on the golf course. There was
no. This is
conversations.
bipartisan. This conversation is all bipartisan. It happens that one's a Republican president, one's a very conservative governor of our state. Coach Saban and I were there as guests, and it was all about our thoughts on how to make this thing better. And the thing that I keep reiterating to people is, do you guys realize, and I know you two know it because we witness it every week at Big Noon, it's never been better.
That was Urban Meyer talking about his foursome with the President of the United States, Nick Saban, and the Governor of the state of Florida. And Rob Stone wanted to make it perfectly clear that this was not a Republican National Committee meeting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was bipartisan.
Nah. Never.
So which one is the liberal of the four?
I have no idea.
I definitely not know. It's the two elected members.
And I really don't care if we're moving forward and they think they came up with some ideas that could get some traction to him in some of this stuff. I'm all about it.
But I just going out of the way to bring that up, and then Urban Meyer, bipartisan. I mean, come on. I mean, Nick Saban introduced Donald Trump in Tuscaloosa. I mean, really? I mean,
yeah.
Not to mention the fact, I mean, I'm just speaking for myself. Whatever way I lean politically, I have enough respect for the President of the United States that if the President of the United States invited me to something, I would go.
Yes. Absolutely.
I would go. So I don't know. It's just funny how try to go out of your way to say it was bipartisan. Was it a Republican? Oh, come on. I mean, it's a round of golf with the most powerful man in the world. Like, seriously.
I would have loved a question after all of those questions, and maybe it came on the podcast, was who was the low score? Did we get mulligans off tee number one?
I think we know who won.
I think no matter
did
what
we
happened,
putt everything out, or did we play in the leather?
I think Donald Trump probably won that round of golf.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if they let him win, then I've lost respect for those other three men. You go, and you... No, he's a good golfer, though, isn't he?
I don't think they let him. I think it was probably a situation. He probably had an interesting scoring mechanism.
Yeah.
In which Donald Trump won the round.
All right, everyone keep their own score.
No, I think Nick Saban was as competitive as all get out.
That's what I was saying. There's no way that Nick Saban is letting someone win. We've heard about those basketball games with his staff.
Oh, yeah, with him
Alabama.
and Kirby and all them. Yeah. So does Urban live in Jupiter? I just didn't know if him and Saban lived in the same area.
I don't know. I thought he lived down the street from Pine House in Ohio.
I didn't think he lived in Florida. I didn't know he lived in Florida.
Urban Meyer's Dublin Pine House?
Yeah. You almost said Pound House. Oh. Didn't you? That was almost a slip of the tongue.
That's the Florida establishment.
Yeah, that's the
that's the one down in South.
That's the sister business down in Florida.
No, that's the sister business of the museum in P-Town.
Yeah.
Have you visited our sister store, the Pound House?
All right. We're going to continue on at least until 2:00 until the company says they've had enough of this shenanigans.
Oh, do you have a customer loyalty card to the Pound House?
Oh, boy. All right.
Oh.
We will try to, once again, pull the car out of the ditch and get it back on the road. This is three-man front on Jocks. 11:34 here on Jocks, top of the hour. We'll talk a little bracketology with Rocco Miller from the bracketeer.org. One of the most accurate bracketologists you're going to find out there. He has been very high on the SEC. Last week on this program, he said 11. That's right, 11 teams from the Southeastern Conference, according to his numbers, as of last week, would make the NCAA tournament. So we'll see if he is still bullish on that prediction of 11 teams in the SEC. We've been watching some of the Olympics. It was a very good morning for the Americans. Won a gold, won a silver, won a bronze. Matter of fact, the gold came from Michaela Schifrin. She won her first medal in 12 years. It was her third gold medal all time. It was in the women's slalom. So the United States, a big morning. We're still one behind for second place, behind host country Italy for the second most medals overall. Got plenty of time, though.
Yep, and right now a game that it doesn't involve an American team or American athlete, but we've got 2-2 in the quarterfinals of men's hockey between Canada and the Czech Republic. What was that line?
Between the second and third period, it was Canada minus 1.5 goals.
I know that hockey is a physical game, and it's if you're into it, you really like it. But it seems like this particular game, there has been a lot of penalty minutes and a lot of pretty good shots. I mean, we've had multiple players with blood coming from their mouth, from their nose. They're getting after it, and now they're sending players to the box. This is what it's all about.
Canadians have had 29 shots on goal, the Czech Republic 15. And during that second period, we were watching one sequence, and Canada had like 5 bunnies, as you would call it in basketball.
It was a matter of time, and the Czech goalie was doing a good job. But you call it goalie? You still call it goalie, right?
Yeah.
It was the soccer people that got onto us for saying goalie.
Well, no, I kept saying nil, and the soccer people came back.
I thought you're supposed to say keeper. Whatever. It's
it's
two.
yeah.
Keeper.
And they wear a kit. It's a soccer kit, not a uniform.
Well, a terrible piece of the University of Florida football history has come to a close as former Florida quarterback Jaden Rashada has finally reached a settlement in his NIL lawsuit against Billy Napier and a Florida booster. Terms of the settlement are confidential, but Rashada now at Mississippi State. Did you know that he was at Mississippi State? Be honest.
Did, actually.
Did you? I did not.
I had forgotten, and I stumbled across it.
Okay. I did not know until I was reading the story. Did you know that he was at Mississippi State?
I completely forgot about that. Just like this morning, we were talking about UNLV, and Damian goes, "You know who their quarterback is, right?
Yeah.
Jackson Arnold." I went, "Oh, crap."
Yeah, I forgot that one last week.
Always a couple of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
So if you remember, Rashada sued for $13.85 million because he got a contract, remember, to flip from Miami to Florida. And that was back in 2022. A mediation conference took place on February 10th, documents show.
Sorry.
Do we have an update?
No. I was showing Conrad something. It was the name. Keep going.
They had a mediation, and the parties reached a confidential settlement. So I have no idea how much of the $13 million Jaden Rashada got. He committed to Mississippi State. He has played at Arizona State, Georgia, Sacramento State, and obviously he had a cup of coffee at Florida and a cup of coffee at Miami.
I'm going to start following him on
State, baby.
No, but I'm going to follow him on social media, and we'll get a pretty good idea of how much that settlement was.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's a good idea. Speaking of the University of Florida, I came across this audio last night of John Sumrall, who almost had the Auburn job. Here's John Sumrall in an interview with SiriusXM. This is his overall feeling about NIL.
Like, if a guy wants to, like, act some sort of way about having to do something tough, I'm like, dude, you make money. Shut up, bro. Like, like you're getting paid, dog. like, put the work in. So I think some coaches with this new world we're living in of transfer portal NIL have gotten softer. I've probably like gotten crazier. Like, I'm like, no, I'm not. Don't tell me about this is too hard. Like, we're all pros here. Be a pro.
John Sumrall.
And I agree, which is why, and look, I told you from the beginning, I respect the heck out of him as coach, and I think he's going to do well. But when he did the whole, hey, you got to earn the Gator logo for the new guys that were coming in, it all sounds well and good, but you just paid a guy $1 million. In some cases, you've never.
You just told him he earned it because he's worth $1 million to be a part of your program.
But that approach, I like it. I think a lot of college football fans like it.
Yeah, shut up, bro. You're a pro.
Yeah, we're all pros here.
Just like the other night when Andy Kennedy told everybody in the room, he said, hey,
you're making $1 million to play football, run the sprints.
Yeah, Andy Kennedy the other night told everybody in the media room after the game, he said, some of these guys on this basketball team make more money than you do in this room. And they can't even make a layup.
Yeah, and it's different at different places. Where at Florida, you're probably positioned where you can draw a hard line and it's not going to hurt you too bad. Whereas at UAB, maybe some of these other programs out of the American and other non-Power fours, you don't have that luxury. You got to lay off because you don't have that other guy.
Yeah, I saw a story last night talking about the NIL that it was a story about UAB's Bartow Arena renovation. And one of the UAB boosters made a statement that they're hoping that next year the total NIL for the entire athletic department for UAB is $5 million.
Okay.
Not the basketball, not the football, everyone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You can compare athletic departments that overall have a budget of $45 million and then look at one that has a budget of $300 million. A lot of differences.
Yeah, because the article was pointing out there have been some that have, and I'll give Mark Ingram credit, the athletics director at UAB. I thought his answer was spot on because some UAB fans would say, instead of spending extra $1 million, $2 million, whatever, about putting new faucets in Bartow Arena, won't you invest in the basketball team?
Because Bartow is going to be here. Those individuals on this
Correct.
basketball team come and go.
And it's also, Bartow Arena is used for a multifaceted, building in which, my son graduated in there, got his degree. They have other events there besides men's and women's basketball. I mean, it's a multi-use facility for UAB. So,
trust me, if you saw the innards, for lack of a better term, of NIL and what coaches say about their own guys and how much they're making, you would think differently about donating that money to a player as opposed to a facility. A lot of them are getting overpaid. Most of them are getting overpaid. But you know what?
Hey, if someone's going to pay you.
That's the system we got. God bless America. They're going to pay it. Guess you're worth it.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought it was refreshing to hear him say, come on, bro. You're a pro. You get paid money.
Just win games.
Act like a professional.
Yeah.
But I do agree with your assessment. It is funny him saying that when he's not allowing people to wear the Florida Gator logo on their practice gear because they haven't earned it yet. Yeah. But I'm earning a paycheck.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like us coming to work here, but you can't wear any Jocks gear.
Yep.
But we're going to pay you.
Well, and you brought up a
but
great
you can't
point.
wear Jocks gear.
Is John Sumrall wearing Florida gear? What's he done? Nothing there.
He was sitting right next to Todd Golden on the bench when they were playing Alabama, and he was all gatored up.
He's going to do well there.
Oh, I think he will too.
Yeah, they're going to be interesting this year.
Right now, over 50 2026 GMC Sierras are on the ground, up to $12,000 off MSRP. They're at Courtesy GMC in Trussville, all trim levels to choose from. Courtesy also has this incredible deal that's still ongoing, the $399 lease and sign and drive on the 2026 Canyon Elevations. Only a couple left in stock there. And when you buy a brand new courtesy GMC, you're going to get a 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty on all new GMCs. Check out all the makes and models on the certified pre-owned vehicles. They got a 9.5-acre lot waiting for you to stop by and see them, peruse their inventory, whether it's in person, whether it's online at courtesybirmingham.com. Also, if you're looking to sell your vehicle, Courtesy is looking for pre-owned inventory to acquire. Just stop by Courtesy, and they're going to give you a buy bid within 10 minutes. 10 minutes. And they're going to let you know what they're going to give you for your vehicle. Get by and see them. Josh Gargis, Drew Lally, fantastic team there at Courtesy GMC off of I-459, exit 32.
Some of your comments on the text line still. Our resident bracketeer, Rocco Miller, to tell us the latest and what he has for the NCAA tournament pertaining to Alabama, Auburn, the rest of the SEC, and college basketball. All that and more. Three-Man Front, the Wednesday edition, continues on Jocks.
Been getting a lot of text messages, and we talked about this earlier. It's pretty amazing how many people have tuned in the morning and the afternoon sessions watching the Olympics, whether you're on your phone, you're at home, whatever the case may be. So we've got it on a couple different monitors here in studio, and we're paying very close attention to the Canadian game against the Czech Republic. It is tied 2-2 midway through the third period. And why this is a big game, because many people believe that ultimately it will be the United States versus Canada in the men's hockey for the gold medal. And this would be a huge upset, to say the very least, if Canada is out in the quarterfinals. Meanwhile, the United States men's team, they will get underway coming up a little bit after 2 o'clock this afternoon local time, as they will take on Sweden. So right now, 9 minutes and 44 seconds to go. Also read just a moment ago, Conrad might not have heard me telling Landrum, this is a hybrid rink, because we were talking about, is this rink the same size as an NHL? And typically in international competition, the rink is larger. This is what they call a hybrid. It's it's the same width, but it's shorter.
So it's like Yankee Stadium for hockey.
Basically, it's right field in Yankee Stadium.
Oh, then that must be the best rink then.
NHL is 200 long by 85 wide. Yeah, of course, we're going to do meters. This one is
the old metric system gotcha.
All right, so this one is 196.85 by 85.3. So width is about the same, but length is shorter.
What did Hugh Freeze say?
So length is shorter.
Length and
the
girth?
girth is
Yes.
the larger part of that.
Has Hugh Freeze made a comment about the hockey rink?
You need length and girth in this league.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah.
It's good to hear from Coach.
Mm-hmm.
Any league.
What's he up to these days? Is he coaching volleyball in Memphis?
I think I saw him watching hockey over in Milan.
Is he really? Hanging out with Snoop Dogg?
I doubt it.
Doubt it. Also, a little fun fact. Don't know where I come up with this stuff. The organist at the hockey.
Is it the Braves guy?
He's the organist for the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Oh, you should have gotten the Braves guy.
That's cool. Yeah. Braves guy's good.
So how about that?
Be a big win, eh?
I guess Braves guy was busy. Matthew Kaminsky.
He's just warming up for the season.
I just told Landry.
He might be hurt
I
like
said,
everybody.
do you think there's any productivity going on in the state of Canada, the nation of Canada today during this hockey game?
Getting a little ahead of yourself.
I know, my bad.
Kalen DeBoer's got his cousin as the assistant coach of the U.S. or the Canadian hockey team.
I mean, to be fair, with him being from the Dakotas and
Yeah,
that
there's
not
a
being
chance.
the most
There's a
common
chance
name,
they're
there's
related, right?
Maybe something there, yeah.
Does it bother you that your head football
Second
coach is
cousin.
basically Canadian?
If he doesn't make the playoff this year, it will. That'll be a big problem.
But you're going to the Mayo Bowl.
And Canadians
He
like
might
to
not be.
dunk their fries into mayo.
Oh,
Oh
did
my
Canada
gosh!
just score?
The Czech Republic just scored
Oh, wow.
3-2. Sorry,
Oh,
FSU
wow.
Dave.
Oh, they look defeated.
The syrup will not be flowing tonight.
I was about to say, is that syrup in the Gatorade bottles that they have? There's no way it's Gatorade.
Well, there's 7 minutes and 42 seconds away from being back on a flight to the great North Country.
Do they not have another one that they have to participate in to the Canadian? Do they just leave?
Oh, I think they're out the door, man.
Yeah, yeah.
The NHL season about to get back going again. Yeah, they're out.
Well, that would be cool for them.
Good for the Czechs.
Yeah, I feel like the Czech needs something positive. to
Yeah,
happen.
that's right.
You've been following their
No.
political upheaval or something.
No.
You feel like
Well,
that they need some.
I do remember
They need to
some things
win.
that happened in their past. I think this would be good for them.
I was the only one excited about that.
You almost threw out a rotator.
Yeah, you did. Well, I thought that's because he had taken them to cover the +1.5.
Well, I mean, I did.
Oh, okay.
He
well, then-
did,
Oh, well,
of
yeah,
course.
There we go. Okay.
Let's
Yep.
see what it is now.
There it is.
He doesn't get that excited naturally about Czech hockey. But look, the Canadians.
Canada's right
This
there.
is the problem. The
Oh!
Canadians are living down
Oh,
there.
that was-
living down there, Pat.
Yeah, they're gonna have a like a what they call it, a
Skate
A
off.
face-off?
Where
A puck off.
Well, it'll be a shootout, right? That's what they do. Thank
Yeah.
you, Molly.
Oh, you mean when they go to over? Yeah.
Molly's from the north. She knows.
Do they change that for the Olympics too? Extra, do we call it extra time?
They might do just extra time. I don't know. We're learning things.
I don't know if I've ever watched an overtime hockey game before. Yeah, what happens?
Yeah, okay.
Is it like soccer where they have to play in overtime and then if it's still tied, they do the shootout?
Yeah, it does not allow for ties, which is good. A game's going to go in overtime if it's tied after 60 minutes, and there's also possibility of a shootout if the game remains tied once an overtime period
Okay, there it is.
begins. Now, there is a different one apparently for the gold medal. If overtime doesn't settle a game outside the gold medal game, there will be a shootout. The winner of a coin toss gets to choose whether the team shoots first or second.
Dang, I was hoping they'd have to like fight for the gold medal. Just drop it in the middle of the rink and whoever walks out with it gets the gold.
So, live line right now with 6 minutes to play. The Czechs are on the money line minus 240, and they're minus 1.5 favorite to win with 6 minutes left.
I need to tighten up that defense. Active sticks. Let's go. We're about to have a melee. These two teams hate each other.
You just wonder when the Canadians are going to pull their goalie.
We got about 4 or 5 minutes until that happens.
All right, we'll keep you updated on that. We got Rocco Miller coming up, our resident bracketeer. Who's in, who's out? All of that as we continue on Jocks.